When the word paint is mentioned, what easily comes to mind the aesthetic values it can bring to the house by making it look pleasing in appearance. There is, however, more to that when Inesfly insecticide paint is put to use. The Inesfly insecticide paint technology was born out of over 20 years research, which incorporates different active ingredients, natural products, and biocides, among others, to cater for the human health.
Desarrollé hace ya muchos años
We
una
developed the micro-encapsulate technology called Inesfly many years ago to combat the problems of vector-borne diseases like malaria, dengue fever, chagas, and many others, which are transmitted by mosquitoes, cockroaches, sesaflies, spiders, and other vectors. A group of experts and doctors came looking for me from North and South America, Bolivia to be precise. Their intention was to use the technology to save lives. I attended to the urgent call, traveled, and focused on situations. Many other experts and international investigation teams reached out to Inesfly technology and its benefits to other sectors, actually spotlighting the importance of this great technology. International investigation teams on malaria, dengue fever, Chagas disease caused by mosquitoes and other vectors jointly took the project serious as an alternative to control sicknesses. Mosquito, for example, bites the poor, the rich, white or black, irrespective of your country or colors. And Africa, a continent of tropical region where vectors easily grow, felt the importance of the good technology to fight back on vector-borne diseases, which brought about the creation of Inesfly Africa. Inesfly Africa was firstly projected with about 10 million euros to build a plant in Ghana, Africa, and prepare the Spain Valencia factory to augment the other Inesfly factories around the globe. Using the micro-encapsulate technology with the help and model of Sage operating systems made it easier to happen independently. In every country, we are without losing our standard and global vision. Today, Inesfly have over 7 patented products in 105 countries around the globe. We are not only talking about the paint, but we're also looking at a technology that is being used in different sectors to save lives, and also as new ways that are applicable to solve many problems in different sectors internationally recognized.
It is known that the development of malaria resistance to drugs poses one of the greatest threats to malaria control, which results in increased malaria morbidities. Resistance to currently available anti-malaria drugs makes it pertinent to look for alternative ways of addressing the malaria scourge. It is indeed widely accepted that prevention of diseases is much better than its cure. In this regard, Inesfly insecticide paint comes in handy. Micro-encapsulation technology in Inesfly paint is an effective solution for eliminating insects like cockroaches, mosquitoes, mites that cause diseases such as malaria, dengue, chagas, and much more.
Inesfly is a polymer microencapsulation technology which has been patented worldwide. It takes the form of low-dosage coating of microencapsulated biocides that include regulators similar to the suppressors of the juvenile growth hormone as well as inhibitors of the organism of chitin. This technology allows slow, gradual and controllable release mechanism with a long residual life, something which has never been achieved until now. It is harmless to humans and animals and is already being used in different areas of public health, animal health and agriculture.
It has long-term persistence. It is harmless to humans and pets. 100% effective at all stages of the insect's life cycle. Hence the advocacy for the usage of Inesfly products to fight disease vectors through the technology Inesfly Africa is bringing to Nigeria. With encouragement from the National Malaria Elimination Program and innovative technology for preventive measures of the malaria scourge and further collaboration with the Federal Ministry of Health, Inesfly Africa put to test the Inesfly pens to measure its efficacy in prevention of malaria through the eradication of malaria-transmitting mosquitoes from the Nigerian soil. Masaka and Gidan Zakara communities in Nasarawa State were selected for the Inesfly field trials. 12 scientists from the Nasarawa State University were to ascertain the efficacy or otherwise of Inesfly technology in preventing malaria through the use of Inesfly pens. The reception in the two communities was encouraging as leaders of the two communities welcomed the idea of the field trials in their domain after they were adequately informed about the idea.
Health matters a lot. Whatever you will do, you have to look for your health first. And this is one of the things that they are bringing to this community. So my community are ever ready to accept, and they have accepted them, and that is why they were able to locate some houses for them to go in and do whatever they feel they want to do just to eradicate this malaria problem.
We thank God that Gidan Zakara community has been chosen to one of the community along this Abuja road that will be tested this pent in the house that we have chosen. I have nothing to say than to thank God. I promise you that our children here that will have been selected, they will do to the expectation. So I'm assuring you that they are law-abiding youth. I know them very well. Inshallah, they will not fail us.
The vision of Federal Ministry of Health, National Malaria Elimination Program, is to eliminate malaria from Nigeria. And there are different things put in place. This is one of them now. This is a new thing that has come to join the old ones to fight this malaria. So we are praying that at the end of this exercise, the people of Gidan Zakara will know that something like this is working.
There was need for youth selected in both Masaka and Gidan Zakara to be lectured about the requirements for the application of the Inesfly pen, offering yet a form of training to them, which was expected to provide employment for Temi youth in the selected communities and beyond.
If you want to know more about Inesfly and other products that we have floor cleaners, we have body repellent, we have many other products, even agricultural products to preserve your fruits and vegetables, and this, we still have those products. But what the federal ministry is in partnering with us to do now is the paint, and that is why we are here.
From my own organization, we are coming around to monitor whatever they want to do to ensure that no harm is done to the environment, neither to the personnel that will be involved in this exercise. So I want to plead with you to be patient with them and adhere strictly to the training you will hear, you will get, apply it as they have directed, so that at the end, we get the best out of it. At the end of the day, we might be heading to the situation where you may not need to be spending money buying other products, mosquito coil and all what have you, to prevent yourself from malaria. So I want to thank the community chief for giving us this opportunity for these people to demonstrate the product they have come to show us that it works. And we believe it's going to be as they have said at the end of the day.
Other residents were also enlightened about the uniqueness of the paints put on field trials.
This paint they cover well. Shebi two persons don't come now, come carry and see the heaviness of this paint. That is how the paint heavy. So we go collect water, small, no be big water. This bottle water, where they sell 75 cl. When you carry them, now what you go use measure the water. Then you carry and pour inside. No be say you go pour all of them. At least when you don't put half of that 75 cl of water, then you turn them, see the thickness. Then if the thickness don't dey okay, the way it's supposed to be, then you go begin to apply the paint. But don't put water, we go pass that 75 cl. When they hear everything they talk.
With the consent of the leaders of the two communities represented by the chiefs, the field trials commenced. Specimens of predominant mosquitoes and their larvae were picked at different times at Masaka and Gidan Zakara.
This stage is just the main foundation of the process. Without this process, without this stage, in fact, nothing will be done, because we need the larva, especially the larva of the Anopheles mosquito. And we need to come to the breeding site, and that is why we are here today. In the process of the collection, that will give us the main studies that we want to commence. Long ago, we have been using LLRN, that is long-lasting mosquito net. Now we want to see if we have other alternatives to it.
In line with the World Health Organization standard, the mosquitoes taken from the field and experimented were taken to the laboratory, this time a laboratory at the Nasarawa State University, for a 24-hour observation in order to ascertain the efficacy of the result obtained in the field.
This very one is from Masaka under Karo local government, and this is Angwan Sakara, same under Karo local government. These larvae and the adults, we are using them in order for us to do a kind of efficacy, to know the kind of vector mosquitoes that is causing malaria in our society. That is why we are here with Inesfly in testing the efficacy of their paint, the kind of pyrethroid insecticide that they have in their paint. Right now, the mosquitoes here, this is from Masaka under Karo local government. We are going to use this one to go and test the effectiveness of the Inesfly paint. We want to know if their paint is active or not. But from Angwangida Sakara, we are here to collect the emergence of the adult mosquito, but we have the larva on ground for now. After the painting, there's what we call spot check. That is 24 hours immediately after they finish their painting, we will go with this mosquito to do comb bioassay. Then after the spot checking, we will have the length of 6 months to study and undergo the area that have been painted to know maybe the mosquitoes are resistant or susceptible to the paint.
In carrying out microscope observation of mosquitoes, representation of the species being observed are usually brought close so as to be sure of the mosquito species being anticipated. "20 houses each were selected from Masaka and Gidan Zakara for the application of Inesfly insecticide paint.
Today, we come here to come and test the effectiveness of the paint. At this morning now, we do what we call spot checking, because spot checking is being done 24 hours immediately after the paint. After the spot checking, we'll now do a kind of understudy for the next 6 months rather. Okay, but today, we've already mounted the cone inside in 3 strategic points, which give us a result of 95-100% knockdown, but we cannot say mortality, because we can't call them a mortality right now, except we give them a kind of 24-hour study. Within that study, we introduce a glucose solution, a 10% sugar solution to the exposed mosquito. So after the study of 24 hours, anyone that survives, we mark that as a resistant. But anyone that is being knocked down, then we can say they are susceptible to the insecticide. As we can see, over there we have a control. Our control is still active. They are going to undergo the same process as the exposed one undergo. They are going to place with sugar solution for the next 24 hours. Then, if any of them knock down, it's either we cancel the test or we look at it, because once we have one knockdown from the control, within 24 hours, we are still good to go. But anything above 1, that is 20% knockdown from the control, that tells that the old test will need to be rerun again. But as we can see for today, our control is 100% susceptible, while the exposed one, the top one, that is the 5 meter, is 100% knockdown. The 0.5 meter is 100% knockdown, but the middle side of it is 95% knockdown as at the period of 15 minutes that we expose them. The significance of the test temperature that we are studying here, we want to know the relative humidity of the environment, because the relative humidity of the environment matter most to the adult mosquitoes, and the temperature as well matter most to the temperature to the mosquitoes. Any area that the temperature is above 27-29 degrees Celsius, that tells that environment is too harsh for the survivor of the mosquito. And when the relative humidity is lesser to 75 degrees Celsius, that tells that the humid in the surface is not helpful to the mosquito survivor. But at this moment, we still have a kind of way of surviving for the mosquitoes, for them to survive right now, because the temperature right now is giving us 25 degrees Celsius, which is very conducive, very okay for the survival of the mosquito. So any mosquito that died or knocked down from the exposed one, we can still count it as a suscept test. But if we now have a temperature, let's assume we have a temperature of 29 to 30 degrees Celsius, we can still we can mark it as a susceptible, because there are so many factors that we can count on it, because the heat factor has already come in which can allow the mosquito as well to die without even exposing them to the insecticide. After the exposure, then we take it back to the lab. We do a kind of morphological identification on them to know the kind of species of mosquito that died.
After the laboratory tests at the Nasarawa State University Cafe, a confirmation of the use of Inesfly pen to prevent malaria was given thus.
According to the WHO standard, we have to observe the mosquitoes for 24 hours in order for you to ascertain the outcome of your result. So as we brought in those mosquitoes from the field, we use the Petri dishes. This is the 10% sugar solution that we used in a paper cup. We have to feed them, because at times a knockdown does not signify mortality, because once they knock down, there's possibility or tendency in order to see whether they will still fly again. So after the 24 hours, that is when we now confirm that the mortality. That means the dead mosquitoes. So that is the essence. And after that, we also use this microscope. This is dissecting microscope and Olympus microscope that we use to identify the species, to ascertain that, okay, these mosquitoes are Anopheles species or the Aculisine species in the field. So this is what we do in the lab to ensure that, yes, we confirm our mortality after 24 hours, which is the international standard anywhere in the world.
This test that has been carried out is to attest and to affirm the efficacy of the paint we use during this course of the analysis. And so it will as well be perfect if we can use this paint in our various homes to reduce quite a number of this infestation of mosquito bite. And I want to sound strongly that the Inesfly paint that we use become very, very efficient, very, very effective, and it worked. And all the mosquitoes that were already been mentioned that were knocked down within 24 hours were very, very correct, just to affirm.
The technical presentation of results of the test carried out on the efficacy of Inesfly in malaria prevention held at the Federal Ministry of Health. Highlights of the result obtained in the field and after laboratory tests at the Nasarawa State University Cafe were presented. The Minister of State for Health acknowledged the value of the coming on board of the Inesfly insecticide pen once it will help in eliminating malaria.
In fact, elimination of malaria is a target of the federal ministry, and this new presentation shows us a way that will help us to that goal, particularly if the cost turns out to be favorable. The efficacy has been demonstrated, at least for the short term. Long-term applicability will have to reveal itself. Like all scientific research, you may not see the full end and benefit and risks until after some years. So the beginning is good, so it's worthwhile to start with it. Particularly, as I said again, if compared to other methods, the cost is variable and the applicability and the acceptability is within the means of the government, it will come in very fast and very quickly.
The efficiency of that paint, in fact, people were very, very happy, and I was looking forward to when this thing will be in the market so that people can buy it.
With the efficacy test of Inesfly technology revealing positive results, both from testimonies given from communities used as case study and the laboratory, expectations are high.
This is innovative. This is being used world over, and I believe that if the government were to get involved, it will be a more positive approach. And I'm happy even from the comments, because the report shows that indeed it is effective, and the communities that they had the they did the test run on have also given very positive testimony.
As the Inesfly Africa products gain entry into Nigeria, some stakeholders opine that the acceptability of Inesfly insecticide paint with its new innovation will be beneficial to the Nigerian people.
Paint is supposed to add value and beauty to your home. And the product they have now, it can actually add value, beauty, and also health benefits. Because malaria is the #1 problem we have in Nigeria. And if you have a cost-effective and a durable means of controlling malaria, I think it will be a very good, it will be very good for us as a people.
The positive results on the efficacy of Inesfly paint in malaria control shows that the collaboration between Inesfly Africa and Federal Ministry of Health, which began a few years ago, is already yielding fruitful results, especially that testimonies have begun to trail it. Therefore, adding the use of Inesfly paint nationwide to prevent malaria is synonymous to boosting the health of Nigerians.
We are so happy today that National Malaria Eradication Program has finally recommended and approved our paint product today. And that is the confirmation of this meeting today. And we are hoping that in no distance time, the federal government will look at our proposals with regards to partnering with us in establishment of the factories in order to crash the cost of production of Inesfly, so that it will help to eradicate malaria in our various urban and tropical areas in our nation. This is a beautiful collaboration we have come to make here, and we are hoping that all stakeholders within the both international and local and other manufacturing paint industries will come and partner with us in this laudable partnership with the federal government. And we are hoping also that it's going to eradicate and make our environment a lot more safe and healthier.
Aside the aesthetic and health values that Inesfly paint provides, Inesfly Africa is to domesticate the technology in Nigeria, thereby reducing the cost of production and providing employment for teeming Nigerians.
We don't paint houses, we vaccinate houses, and this is very important. The paint is free, all right? It's 2 per 1. We vaccinate the house. It is true that when Dr. Pilar began 20 years ago, she was only worried about the results, the efficacy. But in time, after we were able to see that the product was working in Bolivia for Chagas, or in South America for dengue, or in Bangladesh for leishmaniasis, WHO told us, listen, what is important now is cost effectiveness, how much cost that. That's right, what we have done in Nigeria, or what we are going to do, is to set up a facility to manufacture the goods here. We will be manufacturing the goods in Nigeria. Why? Because that will reduce cost by half and will give work to people, and at the same time you will be having a local product. So cost is very important.
Indeed, the need to eradicate malaria from the Nigerian soil cannot be overemphasized, and Inesfly paint is here to do just that, while also providing beauty to our homes.
Let's talk about paint, not just